Hey y'all, what's going on? I will show you today how Drake be faking his streaming numbers. So Fantastic Hip Hop will walk us through it. So let's check it out.
When he is not busy embarrassing himself with the ridiculous lawsuit that he keeps escalating, the other major thing him and OVO are trying to do is desperately convince people that his new song Nokia is the hit track that music has needed right now. And while Drake and everyone around him are doing everything they can to try and trick people into believing that this song is the real organic smash record at the moment compared to all of Kendrick Lamar's tracks that are dominating the top charts, which of course with those songs they are trying to claim that they have all been boosted up to only create the mere illusion that they are as big as they are. Well, after all of the confusion that Drake has been trying to spread, all to make his own song look better and of course make Kendrick's look worse. When it comes to both Kendrick Lamar's tracks being more deserving chart toppers than anything else we have seen in so long, and at the same time, even the moderate success we are seeing with Nokia having something very clearly wrong with it going on behind the scenes. Right now, we just got all the confirmation we needed to say with certainty that despite Drake's claims about Kendrick Lamar being put in place by the industry to stop him, and that the numbers Kendrick Lamar is pulling in are just a lie, in actuality, we now know that Drake has been the one who is faking his influence and lying to everybody at.
And I believe that too. I believe Drake is the one that's lying. Drake is doing so much shady crap behind the scenes to boost his numbers for that song. The Nokia song, I don't like that song. I don't know about y'all, but I think that's I don't know. The whole album was ass. All the OVOs are doing so much extra stuff behind the scenes just to make this a hit. I don't think it's a hit at all. What y'all think? Am I tripping? Is it me? Cause I don't see it.
Placed by the industry to stop him, and that the numbers Kendrick Lamar is pulling in are just a lie. In actuality, we now know that Drake has been the one who is faking his influence and lying to everybody at the same time. And now, before we go any further into this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. And so, now with that said, when it comes to Drake, as we now have seen Drake do whatever he can to try and convince his fan base that he is the biggest victim the music industry has ever seen.
Yeah.
And really making this entire stunt he is trying to pull off.
Again, I hate the victim role that he plays. Drake, you are not a victim, Drake. Stop it. Just stop.
Only cares about is trying to defeat Kendrick Lamar and discredit his success however he possibly can. Really, when it comes to Drake being able to use the fans who are just as desperate for a win as he has become, the only thing he has left to do, other than bother everybody with annoying paperwork, is push the one record from SSS for You that has kind of stuck with people, and of course the song
Some shitty songs for you. Call it what it is.
to the fact that despite Nokia being the most successful move Drake has made since the entire beef by far, yet the track cannot break past the strongholds of Kendrick Lamar's songs dominating everything, including Not Like Us, Luther, Squad.
Drake is nowhere to be found in the top 10. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Drake is nowhere to be found in the top 10. He is gone. Okay. I'm sorry. Oh my God. That's what you get. This is what you get.
Chart we are exactly talking about? Well, Drake would want you to believe that Kendrick's success is all just another intentional effort to shut him out of the industry. And of course, we keep hearing that same narrative over and over again from his desperate fans, as in order to cope with the fact that a rapper is breaking records like we have never seen, they just keep resorting to the argument that Kendrick is getting all of these new listeners from fake plays and playlists because it's just so hard for them to accept reality. Well, now, despite all of the tedious conversation and coping that we have seen, no longer do all of us just know that Kendrick's success is about as real as it can possibly get. But now for Drake and all of the people who don't want to accept that they have lost in every single sense of the word, and in reality now, Kendrick is the one who numbers wise Drake will never even creep up to, altogether, we now know more than ever that Drake has been lying to every single one of us and making up all of the claims he has about Kendrick Lamar and his fake numbers, all because he is upset that Lamar is just doing more on Rap's throne than he has ever been able to.
And I believe that too. I believe it. At what point are we gonna be like Drake? I think Drake is jealous of Kendrick Lamar. Y'all ready for that? Y'all ready for that conversation? Drake hates the idea that Kendrick Lamar is on top. He forever want to be on top. He's Drake. He's the number one. He's the number one hip hop. Now it's not him. It's Kendrick Lamar. He can't take that shit, and he hates it.
The baseless claims about whose numbers are real and whose numbers are not. Recently, none other than Spotify just checked their entire platform for music that was faking streams and had any sort of manipulation going on behind the scenes, and for anything that they detected was up. Those numbers were wiped away from those records entirely. And now, with Spotify checking this out, this is where things start to get bad for Drake because despite people around him, like current go to producers in Gordo, believing that Drake could never fail this much and Kendrick couldn't succeed the way he had, and they have tried to spread the word about this to everyone by putting up cryptic messages about how the truth will come to light.
This Gordo guy, he needs to chill. Just like that boy Wonder, what's his name? Boy Wonder, the producer, they gotta chill too. Everybody on Drake's side, they just take a chill pill, relax, and chill with the K bots. Ain't no bots around here. Spotify say no, that was a lie, and that's it. So move on.
Will come to light. Well, now with Spotify cleaning up their entire streaming records, I guess to Gordo's point, the truth has come to light, but in a way where Drake and everybody around him are not going to like what they are going to see, because more than ever, in a music industry that is seemingly trying to get rid of all of the manipulation going on behind the scenes, Spotify adjusted a ton of song streaming numbers, and because of this, a lot of songs lost streams because they were caught having artificially boosted numbers, which is of course what Drake has been trying to prove with Not Like Us. And now, while certain artists and even rappers specifically like of streams, which just shows how fake.
Oh no, they got my girl Cardi B. I love Cardi B. Not Like Us streams is not fake. Don't y'all see it? That song is everywhere. Asia right now is having a field day with Not Like Us. They're having a field day with Kendrick Lamar. Drake cannot accept the fact that Kendrick Lamar is the number one guy in hip hop right now. He can't take it. It's killing him inside. Oh well.
Specifically, like Cardi B lost hundreds of millions of streams, which just shows how fake some things in this industry we see are. With everything that Drake and his team have been trying to claim about how fake all of the numbers around Kendrick Lamar are, not a single thing about Kendrick Lamar's numbers were altered one bit by any of this, which once and for all is just putting Drake's claims about the entire success of Not Like Us and Kendrick Lamar's ascension in the music industry being faked and this pre planned effort to end his career in a more ridiculous context than it ever has looked. Because with all of the Kendrick Lamar songs not being altered at all after this entire check that Spotify had, Drake's claims about the industry pushing Not Like Us and GNX and boosting those numbers within the worst ways possible overall have just never sounded more baseless altogether. With
Yep.
numbers being undeniable when Drake fans and OVO have been making plans and efforts to make his music look like it's performing better than it really is, it's really just the funniest thing. And ultimately, what this entire moment is going to have to show every single person around Drake is that despite the ridiculous claims they are pushing and trying to build up about this major plot to end Drake's career, which is being pushed more and more each day by having Kendrick Lamar's streaming numbers go up, all of this has been earned and is not faked, and they just can't keep denying this anymore, no matter how hard they try. And now,
Yep.
unfortunately for everybody around Drake, Kendrick Lamar's numbers were not just proven to be more than real. But when it comes to the last thing that Drake has had going for with him when it comes to his actual own music, which is the song Nokia, while everyone around Team Drake and OVO has been claiming that this song's success is so organic and that nothing about it is.
There is nothing about that song that is organic. Not one bit. I'm sorry.
That is the opposite of what's happening with Kendrick Lamar and records like Not Like Us and Luther. This is just not the case. And now I'm not saying that the entire reason this song is doing anything right now is completely fake, because we're not going to do what Drake and OVO are constantly doing to Kendrick. But what has become clear is that Drake is not even hiding how he had to put more work and seemingly fake more than he ever has to get this song that's already charting downwards to do this well, as first off, When it comes to the claims about the record being on fake playlists that are boosting streaming numbers, the song is on a good amount of those. And again, as this is something that Drake fans have a love to pull out on Kendrick Lamar and his success, this just shows that Drake is really not that different from the person they think Kendrick is. And now, also beyond this, and this is where this situation gets much more complicated, there are also claims that Drake put out an entire campaign where he recruited major influencers and others to make dance trends to this songs all over platforms and just made people play it in their content to establish this record as a bigger song and moment than anything else Drake has had in quite some time. While some of this seems to be true, I could not find anything directly beyond just users talking about it. But with that said, while there is no direct information about how Nokia has been able to become the first kinda successful thing Drake has done, what is clear is that when you look at specific personalities, from Kai Cenat to the Paul brothers to a
That's what Drake does. He used these streamers. Kaisenet, he has a large audience. So pretending to like the song, playing the song, you know, dancing to the song, his audience may like it. His audience may stream it. And he has Aiden Ross behind him as well. So he got all these big, huge streamers behind him. They pushing his narrative. You won't be catching no Kendrick Lamar with no streamers. Not right now, at least. He don't need all that gimmick.
has been a recent sentiment change around Drake and his music, and looking at Kai Cenat specifically because he really reveals the most about what's going on here. I mean, from seeing his reaction when Not Like Us dropped, and even from Drake including him in his suit, to now seeing how much he has been dissing Kendrick Lamar and just overhyping Drake's new album as a whole, and specifically Nokia, overall with Kai, something has clearly changed behind the scenes with him and Drake, and now between this pattern we see right here, and also the fact that we know Drake has a history of doing some things behind the scenes, as we know he was using fake numbers to try and change the narrative during his beef with Kendrick, as beyond Kendrick's own bars telling us this. When the diss tracks were coming out, we saw through polls before actual people had time to voice how they felt about what songs were better, that Drake was able to fake things and make diss tracks that nobody actually thought were better than Kendrick's, seemed to have better reception in an effort to try and change the perception of the beef before it was too late, but of course that didn't work. And I mean, what's clear with all of this is that Drake has definitely played the system within a way like he would never want to admit, and making it even worse for him. He's also doing the exact same things that he's claiming that Kendrick is using to get success in the first place. And so, overall, with this, when we look at this moment on the charts where Kendrick Lamar is just breaking record after record, and Drake has one song that, while it is his best in a while in terms of its performance, is doing nothing to rival Kendrick whatsoever, Kendrick Lamar's numbers clearly being real, which we now can't just tell from how hip hop and music culture has changed alongside the success of these songs, but now we have an actual way to prove it as these numbers were not changed whatsoever. From Drake clearly doing stuff behind the scenes to push Nokia more than he has ever tried to push a record in his career. Overall, what is clear is that in this rap game where the real music is lasting and the gimmicks are fading away more and more, Drake is the one who is trying to grasp onto his past success with ridiculous methods that are just spelling out that he has never been more desperate and that things behind the scenes are not like we see them. And really, with all of this, Drake really just has to admit that he is no longer number one because he is not just trying to discredit Kendrick Lamar, but he is then using the same methods he is saying are helping Kendrick, but still losing with those. I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
And that's the problem. That's the thing. He cannot. He cannot accept that he is no longer the guy. All the extra step he got to take just to get a number one hit. It's not even a number one hit. It's not even on top 10. Drake is in disbelief. He's still Drake at the end of the day, but he's no longer the it guy, the number one guy for hip hop. That's Kendrick Lamar. Whether you want to believe it or not, it's Kendrick Lamar. So what he doing now, he downplaying Kendrick Lamar success. Be like, who listens to this guy? This guy is not popular. No women listen to this guy. Hey, hello, I'm here. I'm a woman, and I love Kendrick Lamar. So it is what it is. Let me know down below, guys, what y'all think. Is Drake still the number one hip hop guy? What y'all think? Let me know. Comment down below, subscribe, and don't forget to like. See y'all later.